Introduce myself. I am Adisa from the International College, Burapha University, Chonburi Province. If I talk about Chonburi Province, maybe all of you not really know it, but I talk the Pattaya. Maybe you really know it. Pattaya is the district of Chonburi Province, and my university located is about 60 kilometers from Pattaya. And today I am appreciated to talk about the competitiveness of the Thai entrepreneur on the key success factor in the logistic business operations. Since in December 2015, our Asian country, 10 countries, will become ones. We call AEC, Asian Economic Communities. And if you see on the map, the world map, Thailand is the center of the AEC in terms of geographics. Then the logistic business, particularly the supply chain business, will become the important for the Thai business. For the introductions that I told you, the logistic business right now is the borderless. It means they don't have the borders. They can move freely on the peoples, on the goods, on the service, and on the raw material, on the products, everything they can move freely. And the second one is in terms of the competitiveness in the Thai logistics, particularly the entrepreneurs or the small business or the large business operations. They have increasingly in terms of excellence, customer service, and on the minimize the operation cost. It means two things they need to consider now. The first one is the customer service certifications, and the second one how to manage the cost. And the Thai logistic competitiveness is lower than other countries when we compare with Singapore, when we compare with Malaysians. Yes, absolutely, we are lower than those countries. Therefore, we need to improve in our logistic business in Thailand. And this study, the objective of this study, we would like to find out the parameter or variables that influence on the Thai operation business. I will give you some of the literature reviews. Actually, they have more in my paper already. You can find out. I would like to focus on the major strategy for the competitiveness advantage. Basically, it's come from the migrant importer. The first one is the low cost and improve the flexibility of the product delivery, and also the qualities improvements. It means we need to consider on the quality improvements, the product delivery under the cost minimizations in terms of the strategies. And the World Banks, they give the Thai logistic performance index in the 38th ranking in the world from the 144 countries in the world. Thailand is the 30th. It ranks behind Hong Kong and Singapore that I told you. It means Thailand's logistic business operations, we still have the room to improve. And for the road transportation, it is still the main parameters. And the second one is the rail or the train. And the last one is the water. And Thai governments, they just approve on the rail ring, the train ring, between the southern China, Yunnan, if you understand. Yunnan, they link it to Lao, Republic of Lao, then to Thailand, then to Lam Chabang port. It means after the railway finish, the ship or the boat not necessarily go to the Shanghai port of China. They can transfer the container in Lam Chabang port of Thailand. Then we can move from Lam Chabang to the southern part of China, which shorter than from Shanghai of China to the Yunnan of China. And the logistic skill, attribute, and knowledge are the core competency of the carrier parts or the Thai people. It means we are not considering on the tangible point. We also touch or thinking about the intangible point, which concern on the people as well. And I would like to move to the results, but the methodology is the quantitative methodology. We introduced the 34 entrepreneurs, the big entrepreneurs in Thailand, and we asked them about the question that we have the questionnaire. In the full questionnaire, actually is already in the paper that you have on my proceedings. And for the results, I have 4 tables. The first table, we talk about the higher operation cost that I told you. We have 3 variables. The first one is the infrastructure has uncompleted. The second one is the fuel price. Sorry for that time, the fuel price is going down now, but during I did my research, the fuel price still increasing. And the last one is the main loads. They are still using load for the transportation. They are quite acceptable that for the infrastructure in Thailand is not yet to compete. It means they still paying money on the uncompleted infrastructure. And the second one, yes, the fuel price is still major concern for them at that time. But today there are less impacts on the transportation. And the last one is we are still reliant on the road transportation. As I told you, the road transportation cost is still high when we compare with the train or the waters. And the second slide, second table, we talk about the less effective on the inventory management. Inventory management is mean when the logistic operation, they're keeping their raw material, they're keeping their work in process inventory, they're keeping their finished goods, we call inventories. I talk about they are not yet to really understand on the effective transportation system. Inventory themselves, particularly the raw materials, they also need the specific transportation system. Otherwise, it will damage or it will harmful the raw materials. Then the cost will be increasing. And the second one is they are still lack of the knowledge and skill on the just-in-time concept. Actually, just-in-time is the basic thinking from the Toyota production system and now becoming to the lean system. And just-in-time is mean the manufacturing. They send the manufacturing schedule to the supplier. Then supplier will send the material to the manufacturing when the operation or manufacturing schedule starting. We call just-in-time. Thai people or Thai entrepreneur not yet to really understand. And the last one is they are still separate management in terms of purchasing department, in terms of manufacturing department, in terms of warehouse management. They are still separate their own management. They are not yet to link it or collaboration together. This one the less effective on the inventory management. Okay, last 2 minutes. I have 2 more slides. Okay, the third slide is the law. In Thai law, we are not yet to compete in terms of the logistic. For the example, we are not yet to reinforcement on the drunks or something like that one. That's the alcoholic in Thailand is quite famous from the trucks driver, something like that one. And the last table for myself, and in terms of people, we still lack of the people or experience in the logistic management. Even we have more logistic department in many universities, but they still focus in only the engineer part. They're not focusing on the business part. It means they still focusing on the formula that they create, but they're not focusing on the how to reduce the cost, how to maximize the profit. And also the productivity we still lacks. And the last one is English language is still barrier for the Thai people. It's not common for the Thai people to communicate it in English, but since you know the logistic business, it must link it to another people. It's not only the Thai. Therefore, the English proficiency still needed for the Thai people. This is the last slide for me. Yes, Thai entrepreneurs need to improve their competitiveness, and we need the government to establish the planning of infrastructure. We need to improve on the inventory management. The law and the regulation must to revise or revamp. And the last one is the human resource, particularly on the logistic department or logistic business must be improved. That's all. That's it for my presentations.
Questions, please. Anyone like to ask?
What type of courses did you study?
I focusing only on the eastern part of Thailand. If you're thinking about Bangkok, we are on the what we call on the right hand side. In the eastern part of Thailand now is becoming to the industrial